Hey everybody, GravyTrain here with another episode, GravyTraining. This one is the hero spotlight for the new dragon caster, Niveous. So, I don't have this character start up yet. I don't even know that you really can have them fully start up. I mean, maybe there was some deals to buy or something like that, but I haven't done that. So I am going to be just kind of doing this with the two-starred version, but all the abilities I did fully ascend them and everything like that. So the abilities won't change. The only thing that's going to be different is the stats, and we'll get right into it. So this is a blue caster dragon. So he's got 2 blue, 1 red, 1 yellow, and 1 purple slot. He is legendary, so bear that in mind. The abilities, the ones in yellow are really common, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. He's magical, so he takes less damage from non-physical attacks. He's flying, so he takes less damage from melee attacks. Draconic Empowerment, so he is immune to lightning and fire. And whenever another dragon or a summon, and we'll get to his summons, and technically that can mean a number of things, attacks an enemy, this hero has a chance to make a follow-up basic attack on that enemy. So, another dragon attacks, or a minion or something like that attacks, a summoned creature attacks, he will follow up, or has a chance to follow up. Next, Dragon Scales. All dragon allies are immune to debuffs for the first round and take reduced damage from chaos, basic, and epic attacks. So I'm betting that even though they're immune, they're going to get bypassed by all the myriad of things nowadays that can get through immunities, because they aren't truly immune. But for most things, they're not going to be able to be debuffed on the first round, and I don't know, the wording on this is weird. It says, and take reduced damage from chaos, basic, and epic attacks. Does that mean that they're immune to for the first round, comma, and then take reduced damage for the first round, or for the whole fight? I think it implies the whole fight, but I am not positive. So it is going to be good for damage reduction, both to the chaos damage, which is huge right now, basic and epic attacks, so it's like an inhibitor ability plus inhibitor to chaos. He's mystical, so he does boosted damage versus tanks and slow targets. He is a blue hero, so I mean, I know there are more attack-based blue runes now, but as a matter of fact, there's some in the event shop. But I mean, blue heroes tend to be more defensive than offensive. That's just a general rule. It's not an all the time thing. Like I said, if you get both of those dragon runes from the event shop, he is going to be able to get a lot of attack. Same with yellow runes. There's some yellow attack runes out there. Matter of fact, there's a chaos rune or a taint rune in the store. So bear that in mind. You can make him attack based, but you're not required to. Frostborn. So this is an interesting ability. This hero stores power over 3 turns. Long story short, he's like very similar to Solaris. So whereas Solaris dies, comes back in 3 turns, or when her ability is charged up, he will do the same thing, except he only brings himself back. Resurrects at the end of the round. Yeah, so he only brings himself back, not other heroes. And he cleanses doom from all allies when resurrecting. So if you're going up against an Alrakis, or whatever you pronounce his name, and you get the doom buff on you, then he will cleanse it from your team. Draconic Hourglass. So at the beginning of each round, reduces enemy current health. Current health, not maximum health. So if they have 5 hit points, or if they have 10 hit points, they're going to go down by 1 point. If they have less than 10, they'll go down by 1 point because of rounding. But if they have 100, they're going to go down 10. 10% reduction on current health, very much like Iris's Annihilation Beam is only based on current health. You cannot kill somebody with this ability, but you can reduce their health. The effect is doubled on enemies that have the Doom debuff. So if you get the Doom debuff from Arrakis or some other means like a rune or something like that, I think there might be a couple other heroes that can do it. That effect will be doubled, so it'll be 20%. In just simple math. The stats a little more balanced towards attack, and these are unruned, so but it is level 80. Decent water resist, immune to lightning, immune to fire, and a little bit of spirit resist. So all in all, not bad. Now the active abilities. So Chaos Missile is the basic attack. It's a ranged chaos attack, a basic ranged chaos attack on a single target. For the damage doesn't matter because it's unruned. Chaos damage is shield and armor piercing, which is kind of crazy, and it cannot be dodged or parried. It ignores the 5 elemental resistances as well as damage reduction. Well, that's interesting because this doesn't say it ignores defense. And I swore it also ignored defense, but maybe they've changed that too a bit. I don't know. But anyhow, so any damage reduction, now the only thing that it will not absorb or bypass is chaos reduction. So you're going to get some of that by having some of these dragon heroes on your team. So that is Chaos, or the Chaos Missile. Cold summons a horde of ice golems, aka mini Igoroks, who attack each enemy for 2,000 melee physical base damage. So it's like a swarm, like Valken's Call to War, whatever, where he summons all the little dwarves. Same kind of thing. Revives any dead dragons. So any dragons that have died are going to get rezzed. And then replaces any other remaining dead allies with ice golems. So kind of like how Zom will resurrect any other dead hero as a little undead guy, they're going to be ice golems, so mini Igoroks. But the benefit here is that, so you've got an Arrakis there, he's going to res Arrakis instead of getting rid of Arrakis' corpse and stopping the ongoing damage. So that's definitely pretty good. Plus, a group res. So you run an all-dragon team, you keep him alive, he's going to res everybody. Not bad. Heart of Chaos is a melee physical rampage on up to 3 enemies for 1,500 base damage with a chance to apply Chaos Burn. Chaos Burn, I'll have to look at it. I think it's similar Soul Burn. I'll have to look that effect up. Matter of fact, I will start Googling that or going to the wiki and see. Should have prepared for this, but I wasn't expecting to need to look something up. So just bear with me 1 second. So Chaos Burn is not on the wiki yet. So we'll have to see if we can find that another way, or we'll have to check up on that. So adds Chaos Burn, adds Snow Day to all allies. So you guys remember Grognog and his Snow Day? This is the same buff. It is going to be a defense boost. And also there's other things that can key on having Snow Day, especially for Igorok, but a few other heroes will do more powerful versions of their attack if they have Snow Day. Not huge, but even the defensive buff is nice because it'll stack with other defensive buffs because it's not just purely like a defense buff. Finally, Icy Howl is a ranged water attack on all enemies for 2,100 base damage, purging all buffs on each enemy. I'm kind of frustrated seeing this. Purging, if it was purging 1 buff on each enemy, that's fine. I think the purging all buffs and seeing this happen more and more, maybe like Sybil does this with the S1 and etc. I'm kind of torn on this because you go through all the trouble to get a tank rune, and then your taunt goes away. You go through all the trouble to get like a guardian rune. This kind of thing makes guardian runes worthless because I mean, at least if you're facing these heroes that purge all buffs, you could have 12 buffs on your hero, and it would purge them all. So, yeah, I'm not really happy on that, but I mean, it is what it is. So, I just don't like nullifying the importance or the effect of entire runes or entire heroes, but whatever. So that is this hero. As far as ruining the hero, I'm not. I mean, people are using this hero at 2 and 3 stars, stuff like that. I'm not real keen on the idea of doing it. I think maybe if I get it to 3 stars, I will. But I'm not. I'm not ready to start using it. I mean, my Serenity is 3 stars and does just fine. So at least now you can actually ascend these heroes without having to have the stars up, that kind of thing. So you can actually use the damn heroes. So that's good. But I mean, I would probably either go heavy offense on the hero. More than likely, though, based on the skill set, I mean, you've got immunities. So the follow-up basic attack, I mean, that can be decent. But you're giving immunities. You're not need to survive so that you get to a point where you get that charge to come back. This effect persists even if the hero dies. I believe it's probably the same mechanic as Alrakis, so if his corpse is removed, it will not. So you generally want to keep this hero alive. I would personally probably go defense on this hero. Defense, a little bit of health, and maybe some chaos resistance. But you could mix it up, kind of balance it. You could go offense too if you want. If you need your team to just be fast and he's there for other reasons, that kind of thing would work. So I am not, like I said, going to take this hero out into PvP or anything right now. I will probably try to use him on like a future stream or some PvP videos in the future. But for right now, I just wanted to get the explanation of this hero out, kind of talk through what his abilities were, and go from there. I mean, obviously, he's going to be best with dragon heroes on your team. So we go out into here and we look at family and look at dragon. You only have 4 choices, so I mean, Spitfire can be made viable with this hero, and it's really strange seeing all my heroes not 6-starred. It's kind of weird for me. But Spitfire, you can make him somewhat viable, and I will be doing videos on him and Arrakis and everybody else as well. I'm just getting caught up now, but this is the new hero, so I wanted to get this one out. Good with other dragons, especially Alrakis. But you could make use of one of the beer guts here, and maybe do well with that. This character could also do well with like Sybil or with, I mean, it's going to be most effective with dragons. I'm not sure how much you would use the character on its own. Or without dragons. Like, dropping Alrakis into a team with, like, dwarves and something else makes sense. Dropping Niveous into a team with dwarves or with, like, a ranged team or something like that, not necessarily as much advantage. Now, that doesn't mean that there won't be uses, but more than likely you're going to use it with dragons. So, yeah, anyhow, hope the video was helpful. I hope that you're having fun with the new hero. Leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think, if you're enjoying the hero or not, all that kind of stuff. And I will be putting more videos out very soon, covering the heroes that I haven't done yet, and getting caught up on videos. I'll also be updating my meta spreadsheet. So I will start getting that back up to speed and kind of picking back up where I left off before I left the game last time. So thanks everybody for watching. Thank you for your support, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.